Come in.
Hello? You're that wolf doctor, right?
Indeed I am. And you must be Spike. At least I don't know of any other baby dragons in Ponyville. What brings you to my office?
I come bearing a message from Her Royal Highness, Princess Twilight Sparkle. She sends her warmest regards. And your latest service fee.
Oh, well, thank you.
She says she may not need another session for a while, so she also sends this gift basket.
My goodness. I'm glad to see that Twilight has made so much progress, and I'm certainly grateful for her appreciation. Though I'm not entirely sure whether I could handle quite so many sweets at once. I'm guessing Pinkie Pie must have had a hand in this as well.
Yeah, probably. Leave it to the party pony and the Princess of Friendship to lay it on thick. Well, that makes errand number 168. Only 53 more to do today. I'm making good time.
It seems that Twilight has you working pretty hard.
You got that right. We're busier than ever now that she's a princess. Good thing she has her #1 assistant to help her stay on top of things.
If you're ahead of schedule, then perhaps you'd like to stay a while? I imagine you don't get many breaks during the day.
Well, I probably shouldn't. But now that you mention it, my legs are kind of tired.
Please, have a seat. I've actually been hoping for a chance to have a friendly chat with you.
Sure, why not? Hey, nice couch. It's so cushy. It makes me feel comfortable and... Wait, you wanted to chat with me? What for?
Well, for one, Twilight has been telling me so much about you over our many sessions, and I admit I was rather curious about meeting another dragon face to face.
Another dragon? You mean you've met others like me before?
Yes and no. It's a bit of a long story, but I actually traveled much of the world with a dragon before finally settling here in Ponyville.
Wow, that sounds exciting. He must have been nice if you spent so much time traveling with him. Most of the other dragons I've met have had some bad attitudes.
Oh? Why do you say that? I mean, if it's something you'd care to talk about.
Sure, I guess so. A while back, I felt this funny itch to know more about where I came from. Ponies around here don't know much about dragons, so Twilight couldn't really help me with that. I thought the best way to find out more about them was to make some fellow dragon friends. So I went on this epic personal quest to the Dragonlands. But it turns out most other dragons don't really care about friendship. They just seem to care about hoarding treasure and having contests to see who's on top. I guess that's the kind of life that makes them happy, but I found it hard to understand. I've lived my whole life with ponies.
As have I. For the most part, anyways. And I am immensely grateful for all their kind influence on me over the years.
Yeah, ponies are great! Mostly, anyway. They're friendly and polite, they give you presents on your birthday, and they actually talk about their feelings. But most other dragons just look at that as being lame.
I suppose you find a much better fit here in Ponyville, then?
Yeah, I guess. After my first trip to the Dragonlands, I realized the best friends I'd ever had always been ponies. But that just meant I was back to where I started when I went on that quest in the first place. I mean, I love my pony friends and all, but I'm still a dragon, not a pony.
Perhaps there's still a nagging sense that you're different, or that you will never truly belong?
Hey, this is turning into something more than just a quick break, isn't it?
We can stop at any time you wish, Spike. I don't want to keep you from your work if that's truly what you'd rather be doing right now. However, if you're willing, I'd love to hear your perspective on this topic.
My perspective? Why is that important?
Well, as a fellow non-pony in a pony-dominated community, I can tell you that I've often struggled with that feeling myself. There aren't many others whom I feel would understand.
Oh, well, Yeah, I get that. I'm just so used to ponies that I don't feel at home anywhere else. But at the same time, it's like I'm not exactly looked at the same way as an actual pony would be. I don't want to complain or anything. Like I said, ponies are great. But I don't know. It's little things. It's almost like I'm the one most likely to be forgotten or something. Kind of like the colt who's always picked last for her team. Except that it isn't just a game. It's life.
I imagine this leaves you with feeling the need to prove yourself, such as by working as hard as you can to always be of indispensable value as Twilight's assistant?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, from what I gather from Twilight, you've certainly accomplished far more than you may give yourself credit for.
Really? Twilight said that?
Well, not in so many words, but yes. Despite the seemingly inescapable feeling of being an outsider, you've already had quite the impact on the lives of many ponies around you. Perhaps you are appreciated by your pony friends far more than you realize. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true you made a second trip to the Dragonlands recently?
Oh, yeah! I was called there by the old Dragon Lord. I even met his daughter, Princess Ember. She was pretty cool. She didn't care much about friendship either at first, but she really seemed to come around in the end. We helped each other get through the Gauntlet of Fire, and now she's the Dragon Lord, ruling all the Dragonlands.
Well then, it would appear that despite being even more of an outsider amongst dragons, you've already made a big impact on them as well.
Oh. Well, when you put it that way, I guess you're right.
I think you bring a perspective that is truly unique, Spike, and thus quite valuable. Unlike most dragons, you appreciate the friendly and harmonious ways of ponies, but as a non-pony, you have a way of not taking them for granted. As a dragon, you are in a position to impress these virtues upon other dragons, such as this Princess Ember, in a way that a pony probably never could. And now, due to your influence on her, I expect she is spreading that same influence to other dragons in her own way. It isn't the kind of influence on your part that will necessarily gain you popular recognition, but it is nevertheless a very valuable contribution you've made. And I hope you can be proud of that.
You really think so?
Though you and I may very much operate in the background, in the small and simple ways of serving pony kind, I have no doubt that our influence, even in an indirect fashion, is doing far more good than we may ever give ourselves credit for. Even if we may never be regarded quite as important or influential as those we serve, you can see they aren't going to forget those small and simple actions.
I guess not. Well, thanks for that, Doc. My legs are feeling much better now. That little break really helped. I think I can get back to work, doing my part.
Glad to be of service, Spike.
Hey, Doc. If you're looking for new ways to fit in, you could totally join me and Big Mac in our next guys' night. Discord is only around once in a while, so we could still use a third player in our role-playing game. You can be any kind of creature you want in Ogres and Oubliettes.
Well, thank you kindly for the invitation. However, I believe my duties with the TF2 analysis crew are keeping me busy enough as it is. Though it's certainly nice to know I would be welcome.
Oh, okay then. Well, let us know if you change your mind. Later!
Enjoy the rest of your day, Spike. And take care. It's good to be helping.
Don't ever forget there's a whole world of friends to be made out there.
Spike, could you hold up for a moment?